Hello and welcome to ThoughtCast, the video game and anime podcast. I'm John.
And I'm Allie.
And we are so stoked to finally get this off the road.
Yes, I'm so stoked. We've been talking about this for so long. Now we're finally here, sitting down and recording it.
Yeah, so we have an awesome podcast planned for you this week where we are going to be talking all about this week's Nintendo Direct, some anime news that really caught our eye this week, and the Game Devs of Color Expo.
Yes.
Before we get started with all of that, I think we should probably touch on why we actually started the ThoughtCast in the first place.
Oh, yeah. A little bit notable. Why is this happening?
Who are we? What's going on? Where am I?
Who am I? Oh, well, I know who you are. You're John.
I am John.
So if you're unfamiliar with us and you have not been listening to the ThoughtBubble YouTube channel, John, would you please introduce yourself?
So I'm John. I have my master's in clinical mental health counseling. And so on the ThoughtBubble YouTube channel, I make in-depth analysis videos primarily on characters from a variety of video games like Persona, Psychonauts, Kingdom Hearts, stuff like that. Really diving deep into the psychology of those characters. And so I wanted to use ThoughtCast personally as just a forum to talk about video games in a bit more of a broad sense of things. You know, because I get so deep into just the characters of the games that I feel like I want to talk about the whole game, you know?
Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense.
I mean, you know.
And just, like, more casually, so it's not like you looking over tons of research, opening up the DSM-5, like, for a whole week, just trying to figure out one character. Like, now you can just say, hey, I like this game, and just...
just simple as that.
Just there.
Just go.
Yes, and I'm Allie, and I feel like at this point it's probably notable that we're married.
Oh, yes, that's it. I feel like that's an
that.
important detail. Married with 2 kittens who you might hear in the background of this audio every now and then. Who knows?
I hope not.
I hope not, but they're rambunctious.
They're kittens.
They're kittens.
But yes, so I'm Allie. I'm a graphic designer at a video game studio. And yes, And so the ThoughtBubble YouTube channel started when we were in college.
Yeah.
And so it was just kind of like a creative outlet for John, and he just wanted to do it as a hobby. Mm-hmm. And then once I got into the games industry, I was like, I work with influencers now with our marketing department, and I see how this could flourish. So I said, John, just give me 1 week. 1 week. Let me transform the ThoughtBubble YouTube channel. And I gave him ideas, and we started a Fruits Basket podcast. It did really, really well. We gained 1,000 subscribers in...
probably the first month or so.
Yeah, it really did not take that long. You were sitting at 123 for the longest time.
Long.
It was pretty bad. So,
yeah, it was rough city.
So I helped with like the marketing knowledge that I have from working in the games industry, because I'm kind of at that intersection of art and marketing at my studio. I was like, let me help you out. Like, let me give you some game industry and marketing news. And from there...
Help you did.
Yeah. And now here we are. So that's who we are.
Yeah. And so, like we were kind of saying, we just want to use ThoughtCast as a way to, just keep in touch with the wider games and anime communities, but also be able to share news that maybe you weren't aware of, share maybe some different kind of insights, Allie being in the games industry herself, me just being a massive nerd who just really likes psychology, and yeah,
here we are. We're gonna have some fun conversations about news. Is that our first topic?
News is indeed our first topic, and more specifically, this week's Nintendo Direct.
Awesome. Let's get into it.
So, okay, I feel like there's a lot that happened in this Nintendo Direct, but the thing I really wanted to hone in on first is that new Kirby game that they announced.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, when it popped up on screen, I feel like we both had the same reaction.
Yes.
And Reddit proved to us that we weren't the only ones.
Yes. I felt so validated on Reddit. So when that new Kirby trailer like popped up on screen, like both of our initial reactions was, is this like a chibi Switch version of NieR Automata? Because it's got like, that rundown, almost like post-apocalyptic vibes to it. The rundown mall specifically just screamed NieR. And you're like, what is happening with Switch? And then you kind of got to the beach. It had those bent over trees that were almost Kingdom Heartsy.
Yeah.
And we were like, this is a Square property. Some kind of Square property, at least. And then the little pink puffball popped up, and we were like, what is happening?
I was not anticipating that. Hasn't it been like 20 years since a 3D Kirby game?
Yeah. I don't really know exactly how long it's been, but something like that.
Yeah. We were talking about it at my studio, because obviously every single time a Nintendo Direct comes out, I feel like our QA department just like freaks out. They're so stoked. They'll talk about it for like 3 days on end. They're very excited about Kirby. And I mean, me too. I can't wait to play it.
And with the introduction of this Kirby game, because this is like a proper Kirby game that we haven't gotten in a while, I feel like it really supports the notion that I feel like more and more people are having, that the Switch is one of the most banger Nintendo consoles literally ever.
Yeah.
Because we have Metroid Dread, which was also kind of touched on in this, but we already know everything that we're really going to know about Metroid Dread already, because it's coming out so soon. But we have Metroid coming. Now we have a proper Kirby game coming. We have all of the other like big Nintendo IP that we're also familiar with. To some degree represented on the platform, besides like Star Fox or F-Zero or Earthbound.
Oh my gosh, you don't even understand. We had the longest, I don't even think I told you about this. At work, we had the longest conversation about how kids don't know anything about F-Zero. To the point where, like,
yeah,
when they play Smash, they're like, oh my gosh, who's Captain Falcon? Like, what?
Growing up, this is a super tangent, but I feel like just people not knowing about Captain Falcon reminded me of this. When I was growing up, when, like, the original Smash Bros. On the N64 was out, my friend told me about how you can unlock Captain America in the game. And I was like, oh my gosh, you can unlock Captain America? That's crazy. That's so weird, but so crazy. Because at that time, it was like pre-Captain America movies. He was a B-list hero at that time. And so it was like, what?
Oh no.
That's absurd. And then we unlocked him. I was like, where's his shield? But, like, that's Captain America.
No.
Why does it say Falcon?
He does his Falcon punch.
It should be an eagle.
Huh.
Did they mess up? What a
tragic.
Scuffed game.
Oh my god, N64 version of Smash, scuffed. The reviews are in.
So tacky. What a weird unlockable. But, like, yeah. So...
No, what my wish list is, and we agreed on this at work, was we needed some Pikmin news, and we really okay, no, this is my own personal wish list. I don't think anyone really agreed with me. But I want Kid Icarus, and I know it's unreasonable for me to say that, and I understand that. But, like, if we can get Metroid Dread, we can get Kid Icarus, right? Like, that's... I know.
I mean... Metroid's a bit more established than Kid Icarus.
I know.
But, like, Kid Icarus deserves, with how well received by the people who actually played Kid Icarus Uprising, with how well received it was, it deserves a sequel.
I want something on Switch that's Kid Icarus, but that's my own wish list. Anyway.
But since we were talking about Smash Bros. 64, I think that's a good way to segue into the fact that they're finally bringing an N64 virtual console.
Yes, props to them for the port. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, people have been, like, begging for ports of these games for so long, and I know that I'm positive that people are going to be mad that it's a different payment plan to include N64 on, but, like, I don't know, porting games is a lot more work than people think.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I can't blame them for wanting to include that. Plus, it's an additional service. And personally, I think that Nintendo Online, I know Nintendo Online, the actual online features are pretty scuffed, but the amount of free games that you get with it, I think, personally, my own personal opinion, I know a lot of people disagree with this, but I think it's so worth it, like for the NES and SNES, and I would pay a little bit extra for the Sega Genesis and N64 games. Mm-hmm. Plus those controllers, though.
Oh my gosh. Okay, nostalgia goggles are on. No one can convince me otherwise. The N64 controller is like one of the best. I don't care. Nostalgia goggles are on. I'm probably wrong.
Big
don't
doubt
care.
on that.
Don't care. Don't care. I'm blocking all of you out. Nope. N64 is like one of my favorite controllers. I don't know what it is. Probably the nostalgia, hence the goggles being on. But like, it fits so well in your hand, and like, you can rub your thumb raw on all the Mario Party games. Like, are you gonna get that on a Switch Joy-Con? No, you're not. So
no, it's just gonna break.
It'll just drift.
It'll just drift and break, and it's terrible. It's just terrible.
But, like, back in N64 days, I mean...
It'll like, break you before you break it.
You lost your fingerprint before you could get that controller to break. Like, I loved the N64 controllers. But now they're coming back, and so that means that I don't have to, like, relearn how to play Ocarina of Time. Like, because I hated playing it on GameCube or, like, any of the other ports. Because I know where all the songs are on those, like, C button keys. I don't want to relearn it.
Yeah, that game's, like, second nature to you, though.
I could play it in my sleep.
That and Pokemon Snap, which we're gonna have to, like, make, like, an episode dedicated to your Pokemon Snap adventures.
Oh my gosh. It's bad.
But, anyways, so, yeah, N64 and Sega Genesis, super duper hype about both of those things. I can't wait to play Majora's Mask actually, like, on the Switch, because we have the GameCube collection and the N64 version of Majora's Mask. I'm hoping that they really optimize it for Switch.
I have another one for my wish list, though.
Yes.
Because they announced the N64, I feel like I have so many hot takes.
Okay.
My hot take right now is that I hope that they add Hey You Pikachu to their lineup of games that they're porting, which I feel like a lot of people hate that game, but, you know, I played it when I was in second grade, and I had no idea what I was doing, and the microphone for the N64 was broken, and I just wanted to save the Poliwags, okay? I just wanted to save them, and I never got to, and I want to. It's been 20 years later or whatever. Let me save the Poliwags, okay?
Really? I would be down for Harvest Moon 64.
But that one's going to be hard because it's a third party, and also Natsume doesn't have the rights anymore.
Well, I mean, it is a third party, but they do have other third party games on, like, SNES Online. Like, Breath of Fire is a Capcom game.
Well, yeah, but it's just weird because it was developed by, isn't it Marvelous developed it? And then Natsume was the
owner of, like, the Harvest Moon title.
Yeah, so it couldn't keep the name. It couldn't be Harvest Moon on, like...
Yeah, I don't know how that would work.
They don't own the rights.
Would they be able to still, like, distribute that, though, Natsume, to Nintendo?
No, they don't own the rights to that game.
But now Marvelous wouldn't be able to use...
the Harvest Moon name.
Okay, so it's in this weird
it would have
localization...
to be...
mess.
Yeah, it would have to be Story of Season 64. And it would be weird. It would be the game, and it would work, but it would just be a mess.
Yeah, okay.
That sounds like a legal mess.
Yeah, but speaking of that company in particular, Rune Factory 5 finally has a release date in the north.
Yay!
Which, they, like, briefly flashed that on screen. And I'm like, yes! Give me my fantasy farming sim. I need that. It looks so good. Like, we don't have to go too in depth on that. I'm just so excited.
See, this excitement makes me so happy because when I originally met you and you told me that you liked the Rune Factory games, I was like, wow, he's a keeper. He plays Rune Factory.
And like Harvest Moon and all of those.
Yes, beautiful. I love a man who plays a farming sim.
Farming sims are my stuff. I don't even know how I got into them. I just saw it on the shelf in GameStop one day. I was like, ooh, Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life.
Mm-hmm.
Delightful.
It was delightful.
But
what other things got announced? Refresh my memory.
The Hyrule Warriors DLC Wave 2.
I screamed when that came on screen. I know that they already announced it, and, like, technically I shouldn't have been that excited, but I still am, because I really love Hyrule Warriors.
We're finally getting Robbie, Pura, and someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Some mysterious third new playable character, which is going to be really dope. Some more story content, which I'm really excited about and I'm really curious about because they continue to add story content to this kind of canon, but not really canon game as we get closer and closer to Breath of the Wild 2.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just interested to see what they do with that, if they just really lean into this Hyrule Warriors continuity of things, or if they do try to kind of bring it back to link in with Breath of the Wild 2. Because I'm sure we are not the only ones who are like kind of hoping for some more Breath of the Wild 2 news in this direct.
Yeah, I mean, it was trending on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I think one or two people might have been hoping for it a little bit. It makes sense that they didn't say anything, though, because they didn't want to overshadow the big banger of the direct, Bayonetta 3, which I have no attachment or interest in the Bayonetta series personally, but I know so many people have been waiting. I think it's 4 years since they announced development on this, and then it's just been radio silence since.
Yeah.
So people were jazzed, and justifiably so.
Yeah, I've seen many a Twitter thirst post about it, and it's been great. So one of my favorite things about the Bayonetta news is that Kamiya... are you familiar with Kamiya?
Not in the slightest.
Okay, so Kamiya's great. So he blocks everyone on Twitter. He just blocks everyone for everything, like anything and everything. And so it's like kind of a meme at this point, and like his block list is so big.
Is he like, does he do it to be funny, or dude just like really likes blocking people?
He kind of a mix of both. He really likes blocking people, and he does it for the memes, but he also like sometimes does it seriously, but he just like blocks everyone. And
that's really funny.
I watched a video on it, totally forget by who, but it was like, you can find it really easy on YouTube if you just type in his name. But it's like the story of Kamiya and like why he blocks everyone. And it's like this 30-minute video, and they deep dive into like how to get blocked by him and like everything. And all you have to do is just like tag him in something and just do whatever. And he'll be like, cool, you're blocked. Like, it doesn't matter.
So like a Ludwig, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. No, worse than Ludwig, but yeah.
Okay.
And so a lot of people have been doing art of Bayonetta, and they've been forgetting her mole. And so this one person, I saw their tweet, they drew Bayonetta, and Kamiya had already blocked this artist before. Kamiya unblocked the artist, and then just sent a little emoji of a person with a mole, and then blocked them again. Just to be like,
so petty.
You forgot the mole.
That's so petty. I love that.
I love that. Bringing the sass with the Bayonetta news, and it makes me so happy. So yeah, I've seen thirst posts. I've seen Kamiya blocking posts. It's all over the place with the Bayonetta news. I personally know nothing about the game, but Kamiya makes me want to learn more.
That's so good. And not the only eccentric game dev to have a game at this direct. Our boy, Yoko Taro, has the voice of Cards, The Isle of Dragon Roars, coming out on October 28th, which is a really fast turnaround for a game I've never heard of. And I'm really excited about this.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's such a weird concept, but like I haven't gotten the chance to play the demo yet, but from everyone I've heard playing the demo, it takes some getting used to, but it's also really fun. Mm-hmm. Especially if you like card games. Obviously, if card games aren't your jive, then you're probably not gonna like this game. But it brings all the Yoko Taro strangeness and just like compounds it into a card-based world.
Yes. I mean, the second that video came up, they were playing the trailer, we heard the music and went, Yoko Taro?
Is this a new NieR game?
Why does it sound like NieR?
What's happening? If you can't tell, because we've already brought up like 4 times, we're really into the NieR series right now. Mm-hmm. So like we are on high alert. And another Square Enix title, Chocobo Grand Prix, happened, which is probably never going to be as good as Mario Kart, but Chocobos and little white mages and little VVs. When I saw the track was the city from Final Fantasy IX, aka the best Final Fantasy.
Whoa, fighting words.
Factual words. Everyone else just gets confused. They look at it upside down. They're like, Final Fantasy VI is the best. No, it's Final Fantasy IX. It is 9. I would die on this hill. But I'm really excited about this. It's going to be adorable and precious. And that's coming out next year.
Cute.
I feel like there's a look in your eye and a picture on your phone about the new Mario movie. I think you want to talk about that.
Are you talking about Chris Pratt staring at you on my phone?
It's chilling.
It's chilling. There are some very intense feelings all around about this Mario movie. I don't even really know. I think I mostly enjoy it for the memes. Like at this point, yes. I'm just laughing about how I can go into my studio's Slack channel and just read all of the ridiculousness.
I felt like when we saw this cast list, we were in a fever dream because they said Chris Pratt and I was like, odd choice for like a number of reasons. He's a questionable dude just in general. But like, I think he's good at impressions. So I was like, that's weird. And the voice of Mario is already in the movie. I guess not as Mario.
No, but that's what confuses me. Because, like, you don't have to use star power to... Whoa, star power. Anyways, you don't have to use celebrity star power to sell this game.
You don't need a superstar. You just need a mushroom to blow it up.
Stop.
Or a bob-omb to blow it up. I'm sorry.
You've only beaten one Mario game and it really shows right now.
I've played a lot of them though. Look, anyways.
But yeah, like, okay, you don't need Chris Pratt as Mario to get people to go to this movie. Will it make it more similar to like the Sonic movie in levels of ridiculousness where people will go just to hear how crazy it is and like want to meme on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, of course. However, you're Nintendo and the property is Mario. You don't need Chris Pratt to sell your movie. People want to see Mario. All of the other voices I can pretty much understand.
Yeah, because even if you were going for star power, Chris Pratt doesn't have the star power he had, like, when he was just starting out as Star-Lord, you know? He's not a hot ticket item anymore. So, like, why make him the leading man of a Mario movie? I just don't see the thought process there, personally. Maybe it was cast, like, a long time ago, but I don't know. Charlie Day as Luigi is equally strange, but I think that one's inspired. Inspired. Because, have you ever seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Ugh, I don't think I have. I don't watch a lot of TV.
He's really funny. And so I just think that one's really strange, but I think it's gonna work. And same with, like, Jack Black as Bowser. Jack Black is a king. And Anya Taylor-Joy.
I love her so much. She does not give me Peach energy. But like, she's acting, so it's fine.
But, like, I don't think she needs to. Because this movie has to be incredibly self-aware. The only Mario well, barring like the Super Mario RPGs and the Paper Marios of the world, no Mario has like a super compelling plot. The closest is the storybook in Galaxy.
Yeah.
And that's just background into Rosalina. That has nothing to do with Mario at all.
Oh, imagine her as Rosalina, though.
Anya Taylor-Joy would be a perfect Rosalina.
Perfect.
Like, literally perfect. It could have gotten, like, Kaylee Cuoco for Princess Peach. She has Peach energy. So I think that this movie, the nail in the coffin was Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong and Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. Like, that's what told me they know that this is a meme.
Yeah, I would like to, in advance, just say rest in peace to Keegan-Michael Key's vocal cords. We're gonna miss you. So good luck as Toad.
What if he just plays Toad as this really, like, instead of going higher pitch, because, like, Keegan-Michael Key can definitely make his voice go higher pitch. He just, like, makes, like, Toad a really bassy, like, just really offbeat, like, really, like, a strange Toad. Because there are millions of Toads in the Mario universe.
Yeah.
This is just, like, an odd
Toad
example of
odd.
the species.
Toad is odd.
What secrets lie under your hat?
Stop.
That's a lot. That's just a lot. I think that's pretty much all we have that we wanted to specifically mention from the Nintendo Direct. I mean, don't get me wrong, I could go on and on about Hot Wheels, but...
Oh, I'm so looking forward to the Hot Wheels game.
A transcendent piece of media.
I can't wait.
If we're honest, it doesn't look terrible. I would never play it, but, like, for what it is, it doesn't look bad.
I want a tech deck game.
That would be hilarious.
I want a tech deck game.
Like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, but tech deck. You're just fingers on a...
No!
Master Hand. That's gonna be the next Smash Fighter. Tech deck. It's Master Hand, but on a skateboard.
I would live for that. Oh, we get the Smash Direct coming up.
Yeah.
And the Animal Crossing news, you didn't even talk about that. Why are you rude?
Well, we don't have it yet.
But we have.
We know it exists.
But we have Brewster.
We do know things.
Oh my goodness.
We do know.
Let's segue away from the Nintendo news. By the way, nothing new with Animal Crossing.
Brewster. We're going to spend so much time fangirling over Brewster soon enough.
Yes, we'll hit you back when we watch the Animal Crossing Direct for more Brewster swooning. But we know. We see you, Brewster. We've been waiting a long time.
Where have you been?
Nintendo
have times been hard?
Nintendo had him locked away. He said, no Brewster for you until you kids start wearing your masks.
Maybe on your island, like, property taxes are just insane and it doesn't make sense for him to own a business.
Stop. That's why he's merging with the museum.
Yeah. He couldn't do anything else. Blathers barely got there. And, Timmy and Tommy, nepotism. So, like, that's how they got on.
Times are tough on the island.
Yeah, times are tough.
Capitalism.
That's why most of the vendors are only there, like, 1 day a week. Times are tough. Times are tough. But I do believe that we want to talk a little bit about the Game Devs of Color Expo that's happening this week, correct?
Yes, so thankfully Nintendo put their Direct after the Game Devs of Color Expo's Direct. So really happy about that. But they had their own indie showcase, which I really recommend you go check out. It's on their YouTube channel. And if you're into indie games, like, go support these creators because they're amazing. They're so diverse. And if you're one of those people where you, like, put the black square up on your Instagram and you're like, I'm helping. Like, now you can actually help.
Yeah.
And go support a game dev of color. So the showcase happened and the expo's still going on. As of the time we're recording this, when it actually gets posted, it'll be over. But I'm sure that they'll still have a virtual pass ticket or something where you can rewatch some of the talks. And they always put them up on their YouTube channel, like, for the full year up until the next expo. So you can see talks from last year. And if you're into game development, if you want to be a developer, or you want to go into like game art, game design, marketing, sound design, like literally any of those, I really recommend that you check out this expo. And I feel like a lot of people, when they hear the Game Devs of Color Expo, they're like, well, I haven't heard of that. It's not GDC. It's not, I don't know, like what's another big game convention? It's not like E3 of showing off games. And it's like, that's not what they're going for. Also, it has really big sponsors. Like Niantic is their biggest sponsor. And
oh, that's dope.
Yeah, Niantic's vision is beautiful. I've really appreciated every talk I've heard from them. But they have huge sponsors, like Nintendo's sponsoring it, like Games for Change is sponsoring it. They have so many supporters, and a lot of the talks are great. I'm personally very upset that I'm missing Victoria Tran's talk about marketing, because
she would have such a unique perspective on that, being center stage of the explosion that is Among Us.
Yeah, and she's just so funny. So the title of her talk is Bad Community Management Advice. And like, I love Victoria Tran so much. I fangirl over her every single time she comes up on my Twitter feed. Like, she's hilarious and wonderful, and her takes are so good. 10 out of 10. If you're into game design, if you're in that realm, you should definitely go check it out. And they have a YouTube channel full of content just waiting for you. So go look at it.
Yeah, and I think that now more than ever, it's important to support, diversity in the games industry, but also just support developers. Because look no further than the atrocities over at Blizzard. It's important to be able to like say, yes, I love these games from these companies and that's awesome and everything, but it's the devs that are making the games and supporting that diversity and inclusion within the games industry. I feel like will just net the consumer just better games in general, because it's more creativity, it's more cultures, it's more ideas being injected into the industry, which if you wanted to have all the same ideas just recycled over and over and over again, games would be boring and they wouldn't be what they are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I think supporting that as a community is really important if we want to continue seeing these games that we love continue to evolve in new and interesting ways that we could never imagine ourselves.
Exactly. And I hate when people like gatekeep information about the games industry. And the Game Devs of Color Expo is so good at giving you the information that you need to get a head start on joining the games industry.
Yeah, definitely. But segueing out of that and into anime news, something this week that I saw that I'm very skeptical of is Demon Slayer's decision to have the first 7 episodes be the Mugen Train arc.
Yeah, I don't know if everyone has heard this yet, because on Twitter, I just saw the trailer that they had and was like, oh, yay, new Demon Slayer, can't wait to see the next arc. But yes, the first 7 episodes will be a mini-series from the movie, but with like some new visuals and background music. But it's going to recap the whole movie, start on October 10th, and we won't cover new ground with the next arc until December 5th.
Which, like, I get that not everyone has seen the movie, but isn't the movie widely distributed at this point?
Yeah, and it was like the best-selling movie in Japan, like,
ever. Yeah, so I'm just confused as to why this is necessary when maybe it's to pad out the season. Maybe they just were so embarrassed by the CGI monstrosity that they created in that movie that they were like, let's take 2 on that one.
Yeah, maybe they took that one back to the CG office.
Yeah, but don't even make it CG. It would have been perfectly fine like just regular animated. And they probably did that for cost-saving measures and time-saving measures, and totally get that. No shade, no tea there. But like, it just looked really bad in the movie. And amazing movie nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
They probably need that budget for Rengoku, but I'm really excited that at least by December 5th, we will be getting that Entertainment District arc, which looks really cool.
Yeah, I have only skimmed the manga because I'm one of those people where I read the last page of something before I start it. So we
Hey.
didn't start Demon Slayer until the manga was ending. And so your girl looked up how the manga ended and then we started watching it. So I'm one of those people. I like spoilers. It's fine. John doesn't like spoilers. So I let him know that it was something good that we should watch. And then we started watching it. So I don't personally know anything about the entertainment district. I know people are really excited about, like a number of characters, but the one that I've seen is, I think, Daki? Is that her name? Her? I don't even know if she's a woman. I really don't know. I'm taking guesses here, but I think she's a demon.
I haven't heard anything about that. What I personally am super excited about, and I've seen a lot of posts about, is the sound Hashira, who's heavily featured on all of the promotional materials.
Yeah.
And so I'm so jazzed because their swords look really cool and interesting and different from anything that we've seen before. I'm interested as to what sound breathing how they could visually represent that, because I saw somewhere that, and this makes sense in context of the show, that obviously the different breathing styles in the show, like the water and the fire and everything, it's not actually there. It's just for when they animate and when they draw. It's just to give that visual flair to their abilities.
Oh yeah, it makes sense, because when they do it, it's not like the person's clothes set on fire or they start drowning.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't affect them that way. It's the sword slashing.
But it's still probably the most striking element of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really interested as to how the sound Hashira's abilities and breathing style will be represented within the anime.
Yes. Oh, I'm stoked.
Yes. In addition to Demon Slayer news, a little bit less striking news has come out. Obviously, My Hero Academia renewed for a 6th season.
Mm-hmm.
Shocker.
So surprised. I really hope that they don't do a movie alongside this, but I say that knowing that they will do a movie alongside this.
Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't even watched season 5.
No, because I don't know. The manga's, in my opinion, so much better that having read the manga, watching the episodes, it's just like, they just don't hit for me as well as they used to.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, not that they're bad. Like, they're still good, but I just don't have the buy-in to the anime knowing what's coming next. Which isn't always the case for me once I've read a manga. Like, even if I know what's coming, an anime can still give me that buy-in. But My Hero's anime just isn't. It's not doing it for me right now. That could change, but right now.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they do the Paranormal Liberation War arc really well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hoping that it just goes off without a hitch. It's great, and I will be looking at clips of it. I don't know if we'll be watching season 6, but we'll see. We'll see.
I think it also, I don't want to spoil anything, but with what's happening in the manga currently, I just think it's hard for me to go back and appreciate what's happening beforehand because they're so tonally different. Like, they're in two such distinct mindsets within the series right now that's hard for me to kind of flip back and forth. So maybe I'll appreciate season 5 a lot more once we're kind of out of the woods a bit, or once the series ends within the manga. But right now, I'm just like, oh my gosh, the manga's coming hot and heavy, and the anime is just not slapping like it needs to.
That's our opinions on My Hero Academia right now.
Heck yeah. Not thrilled. I think it's fun that Agretsuko, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I love the show.
Well, her name's Retsuko, right? And she's aggressive, so...
Agretsuko, yeah. See, that is deductive reasoning right there.
Like my brain right there.
But Red Panda Show is the next season's coming out December 2021. Super stoked about that. And I don't know where else to put this other than the anime news section, but Star Wars Visions just released this week, and it's the entire series. Mm-hmm. And I love that they're only like 13 to 15 minute episodes, all of them, and it's only a 9-episode season. And I'm just really stoked that something as Western as Star Wars is kind of dabbling in that more anime-esque style of storytelling, because Star Wars as a media franchise, I know everyone doesn't appreciate it, but having not watched Star Wars Visions yet, I think it lends itself so well to the anime medium, with the stylish lightsaber fights, with the using Force lightning, just using the Force in general, being able to communicate with others telepathically. It just the universe lends itself so well to like a science fiction anime. I'm really stoked. I'm really jazzed for that show and to be able to watch it. But do you have any thoughts, any other news, any tidbits about the anime industry that caught your eye?
I mean, with Visions, I'm specifically really happy that they reached out to multiple different animation studios. I'm so happy that they did that. They didn't just like narrow down, focus on one studio. They were like, no, we want to get your vision of Star Wars
ding, ding, ding.
From multiple different studios, and they really let them play with it. From what I could see from the trailer, like, they came up with some really cool concepts that just wouldn't translate too well to a live action recording. Mm-hmm. No matter how much editing you do, no matter how much CGI, some of these things just wouldn't work. You're just not capable of pulling them off in a traditional movie or television show.
Yeah, because anime is such a specific form of media and animation style that you can't replicate in other mediums, which is why I think it's so special and why so many people resonate so heavily with it, of all ages, because I think that there is still like this slight weird stigma around anime and manga and everything. But I hope that even if it's something as mainstream as Star Wars, kind of dabbling in that realm, I hope it helps anime to become more mainstream so more people can appreciate just how good the storytelling and just how good the animation is. Because there is that unconscious bias of like, it's animated, so it has to be for kids, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's like, if you watch Attack on Titan, you know certainly well that would traumatize literally anyone, especially a child.
Yeah, but now people can check it out, and if they like one episode more than the others, they can check out that studio, who animated it, and maybe fall in love with some of their other stuff.
No, yeah.
Love that for them.
Yes. How about we get into what we're playing and what we're watching?
Beautiful. Well, would it surprise you to know that we're playing NieR Replicant?
What?
We are playing a NieR game?
Crazy. We've only talked about it like 3 times in the first podcast. But I don't want to get into any spoilers for NieR. There's just something about this game in particular. We've already played through Automata, but I have not been this captivated by a game actually, I do know how long I've been captivated by a game, and it's the game we played immediately before that.
Yep.
Psychonauts 2. But a fantasy game like this, like a high fantasy game like NieR Replicant, I can't remember how long it's been since I've been this invested in a world like this one. Because even with NieR Automata, I was more invested in the characters and the plot than the world itself. Whereas with Replicant, obviously, I am equally as invested in the characters, but the world is just fascinating, and getting to explore. And if you've played NieR Replicant, you know what I mean by continuing to explore the world again and again, over and over.
Never ending.
Never ending, it seems. All the weapons.
Yeah.
Every last one.
Every last one.
We're about to get the last one.
But yes, when we play games, it's really more of you driving the controller and me watching, and sometimes I steal the controller from you and pretend that I know how to double jump, and then I fall into sand, and it's fun. It's fun. There are games that I excel at, and if it's on PlayStation, it's probably not for me. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know. I've been watching you play, been around the whole time telling you how to jump in the junk heap so that you can actually make it. And helping out here and there, but being able to just watch it and, I don't know, fall in love with the characters and how they interact with one another and seeing the world, and the music slaps, and I listen to it at work all the time now.
It's so good. The thing that really strikes me about this game, and if you've never played a NieR game, you've never played NieR Replicant specifically, I love that they take inspiration from so many places, and they're very forward about what inspiration they take from other games. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a section in the game, this isn't really a spoiler other than a mechanic, there's a section in the game that's inspired by Resident Evil, and it has the wonky, old-fashioned camera angles of old Resident Evil games. There's a Diablo-esque section in one of the levels. They reference Zelda.
Yeah, straight up with the camera angle and the hand position of when you get an item and you get the da-na-na-na. Like, yeah, that, verbatim.
Yeah, and it's so cool that a game can just, like, have so much artistic freedom and show what inspiration it's taken from what games and how it's taken inspiration from those games. And that's probably the most interesting part, and has kept me, even as we've kind of gone through the world a lot, kind of kept me going with it because of that creativity. Yoko Taro is an absolute mad lad, and I wish I could talk. We haven't exactly finished it yet, so I don't want to talk about anything story related, because who knows? We could say something right now and it proves to be completely wrong once we get a little bit more information.
Yeah, I mean, if you know anything about NieR games, you know that they have multiple endings, and we're sitting at 2 right now. Yeah. So we have a ways to go.
Yeah, but that's another thing that I love, is how you can have one perception of the game the first time through, but after the second or the third time through, you're like, I completely was wrong in my thinking at first, and here's why. And they really lay that out in not a way that's attacking, but in a really intelligent and interesting and engaging way, showing how it's a game of perspectives, and I love that. So if you have not played NieR Replicant, please, play it immediately. Go buy it right now. I can't recommend it enough.
Yes. What are we watching right now?
So we do this thing called an anime exchange, where we each choose an anime, and we both watch the other anime, typically back to back. So, the anime that I chose to have Allie watch, which is an anime I've already watched in its entirety, is Hunter x Hunter.
Mm-hmm. And the anime that I chose for John to watch, that I've already watched in its entirety, is Inuyasha.
And so, 2 very long animes. I'll be honest, I didn't think I would get invested in Inuyasha, just because I don't tend to gravitate towards older anime, especially if I'm not nostalgic about it, which I wasn't. The old anime that I'm nostalgic for, the Yu Yu Hakusho, which it's funny that I'm nostalgic about that one specifically.
Yes, considering you like Hunter x Hunter.
Yes. And I didn't know that Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter were made by the same dude.
Who is married to the creator of Sailor Moon.
Which is just delightful. But I didn't know that they were made by the same dude. And so I started watching Hunter x Hunter, and I'm like, I love this. This feels... They're very different shows, but this feels familiar. Mm-hmm. And it's when I found out, I was like, this all makes sense.
It all makes sense.
But how are you enjoying Hunter x Hunter?
Well, what is the arc we're in right now? Is it the Greed Island? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Okay, so we're in Greed Island right now. I love it. I have to say, much better than the previous arc we were in. That one gave me nightmares because I can't handle violence, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't think Hunter x Hunter was violent. And you may think I'm silly for saying that, considering we literally start with
the Hunter exam?
Yeah, the Hunter exam. Like,
yeah, people dropped like flies.
I don't know why I didn't expect violence, but I don't like
it's a different,
like gratuitous violence. Like,
yeah, it's a different kind of vibe as the show goes on.
Yeah, and so I mean, not going into spoiler territory, where Greed Island is right now, and I'm sure this will change, but where Greed Island is right now, it's at the happy-go-lucky, like, good vibes I needed, new mechanics, new ideas, and Hunter x Hunter as a whole, I really love the show. I'm having such a good time with it. I love the characters, except for one, which I would get flamed on for saying. I don't know. Am I crazy or is Kurapika kind of annoying? Anyways.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. But Gon and Killua.
But Gon and Killua are great. I don't hate Kurapika. He's just my least favorite character. But I don't hate him. Like, if we're on a scale of, like a rating scale of, like, SS to, like, I don't know, F, right? Gon and Killua are in, like, the SS tier, right?
Yeah.
And it's not,
which understandable.
Like, it's not like Kurapika's in, like, D or F or, like, any of those. But just, like, lower than Gon and Killua and even, like, Leorio.
Kurapika is a noble young man. Straight from the Uchiha clan. I mean, Kurta. The Kurta clan.
No!
The Kurta clan.
You're proving me right here.
No, but, well, to be fair,
Naruto did steal from Hunter x Hunter, didn't he?
Yeah, to be fair, Kurapika came first.
Anyways.
So, Kurapika definitively came first, and then Sasuke was like, that's a cool backstory.
It may just be that Kurapika's most notable appearances took place in the arc that hurt me the most. Yeah. So that may be where the bias is coming from. But anyways, I really like Hunter x Hunter. I didn't think that I would like it as much as I do, and that's that on that. How do you feel about Inuyasha?
It's great. Like I said, I didn't think I would like it as much as I do, but the characters are so charming.
Yeah, we're like 20-something episodes in.
Yeah.
We're like almost near episode 30, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Inuyasha, like, they all kind of took a little bit for me to warm up to them. Mm-hmm. But I really like Inuyasha, even though a lot of times I want to punt him in the face. Mm-hmm. Kagome has me rolling in laughter at all times. And I think my favorite thing is how they made Sango crazy overpowered. And if she wants to, she can just like one-shot literally any demon. Mm-hmm. So they just keep needing to find ways to like get her out of the fight.
Yeah. It's like, and they do that with Miroku too.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, wind tunnel. Uh-oh, now there are bees.
Yeah.
Like, so, but with Sango, it's always so ridiculous. Like, right when we meet her character, they go up to that miasma mountain.
Yeah.
And then Sango, the only character that in canon has a gas mask.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, you literally used a gas mask, like, last episode. Where is it? Why are you passing out? Just pop it on your face. Like, I know you're not dumb. Like, this is your job. This is your literal career, like, is hunting demons. The author was just like, oh, she would just wreck house right now. Like, we need Inuyasha to get stomped for a little bit before she, like, you know?
Yes.
Like, so she's always down and out somehow. Mm-hmm. I don't know. So that's kind of where we are. like I said, we just finished playing Psychonauts 2, which I want to talk about at length.
Mm-hmm. Little psychology boy.
In the future. And we have some Psychonauts videos on the channel itself. So if you like Psychonauts, go check those out at youtube.com/ThoughtBubbleTV. Shameless plug. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Because I think it's about time to wrap up.
Well, while you're talking about shameless plugs, I would like to plug our new merch store because I just worked my little booty off on it. So you can check it out. Link is in the description. And we just released 2 new collections. So before, if you've seen our old merch store, you would know that we released 2 t-shirts. One was inspired by Fruits Basket and one was inspired by Persona 5. Now we have 2 new whole collections with multiple different merch items. So we have the kitten collection, which is based off of our 2 kittens, Pocky and Toffee. There are mugs, there are stickers, there are t-shirts, and I know I'm a graphic designer and I'm kind of hyping myself up here, but like I think they look fire.
I think they're so cool. Again, probably biased because I'm married to a graphic designer, which is you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Intriguing.
Crazy. Crazy.
And then we also have the ThoughtBubble collection. So if you just want to rep the logo, which is also pretty cool if I do say so myself.
Straight fire.
We have, again, like stickers, mugs, t-shirts. So go check out our merch. And I mean, it's like not the like lazy YouTuber merch. It's like actually like cool designs, if I do say so myself. So you could rep it and not be like, yeah, I'm wearing YouTuber merch. It would be like, no, look at this cool cat named Pocky.
Yeah, with literal Pocky on the shirt with her and awesome flowers. It's great. It's great. I think that's all we have for this week. Something that we want to integrate into future podcasts is questions from you, just in case you have questions for us. So if you have any questions, send those out to us on Twitter. Like my handle is at ThoughtBubbleYT and Allie's is at bashful_roses. Or send it to our email address, which is thoughtbubbletv@gmail.com. So send any questions that you have for us about literally anything, and we'll try to include those in the podcast every now and then. All right, well, that is it for this week's episode of the ThoughtCast. So make sure to like this video, follow us, give us 5 stars, whatever you can do on whatever platform you're listening to us on. It helps the show a lot. Let us know what you're thinking, and we'd really appreciate that. But as always, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, a fantastic rest of your week, and why not even a fantastic rest of your month. And we will see you next week. Later.
See ya.